They know. They all know. You were not careful enough, and now they all know. Welcome to Ponyville. Ponyville, some exciting news as we begin tonight's broadcast. We have been dubbed the most scientifically interesting town in the world, a label given to us by our own new resident, Twilight Sparkle, who, you may remember, came to live in our town a few days ago after defeating Nightmare Moon. Twilight stated that she would be remaining in our quiet little hamlet to observe and document the fascinating goings-on in our town during a recent interview we shared. Well, actually, it was less of an interview and more of something I heard her shout as she ran past me on the street the other day. But that's like an interview, just a much shorter one, where an answer was given to a question you never asked. Much in the same way sometimes statues will respond to questions you were thinking without actually saying them out loud. So, yeah, technically an interview. Most scientifically interesting. Well, I don't want to dispute that. After all, who better than a scientist to say what is and is not scientific, interesting or otherwise? But our town? Really? It's no different than any other. We have our shops, our homes, our parks, our bloodstone worship circles, our darkened alleys where ponies enter only to exit in a completely different part of town, often in a completely different year. Pretty mundane, really. Most scientifically interesting. Wow, isn't that something? Listeners, it appears my desk is beginning to boil and spew out clouds of thick, noxious gas. This tends to happen when station management feels I've gone too far off topic. Let's quickly move on to the news. In community calendar news, Princess Celestia has announced plans to hold the Grand Galloping Gala within Canterlot Castle later this month, and is set to reopen the Royal Ballroom for the occasion. Longtime listeners may remember that the Royal Ballroom was sealed off several years ago after a mysterious fire erupted within and spread throughout the entire castle. Royal guards were able to beat back the fire using a mixture of water buckets, firefighting equipment, and a variety of harsh and unkind words, before containing and sealing the fire away within the ballroom. When asked whether or not the princess felt it was safe to reopen, Celestia assured the crowds that everything would be fine, stating, "I don't know. I mean, probably. It's been, like, years by now, right? I think the fire has gone out. I think. Yeah." Follow-up questions were brought to a swift halt when some pony in the audience received a link on their phone to a video of this adorable puppy falling asleep while standing up, and they just had to share it with every pony else, creating a massive distraction and... oh my gosh, listeners, you just have to see this video. It is the cutest thing! Oh, anyway, I've forgotten what I was talking about. It's that darn puppy video, listeners. So cute! Our esteemed Mayor held a press conference earlier this afternoon informing Ponyville citizens that she has formally declared several words are now forbidden, and thus can no longer be used by any Ponyville citizen. I can't actually tell you what these words are, said the mayor as she peered over the top of her podium, eyeing the gathered reporters with suspicious glares and snarled teeth. They are, after all, forbidden. Just know that there are words. There are words, and they are forbidden. There are forbidden words, and their use will be met with dire consequences. Dire. consequences, the mayor emphasized while backing away from her podium, waving her forelegs dramatically in front of her before crawling into a secret hatch hidden beneath the stage. When reached for further comment, the mayor responded by loudly buzzing before exploding into a pile of large snakes which slithered away in several directions. Celestia's secret royal guard was reportedly seen removing Zecora from the premises of the royal castle, where the mayor had been standing outside for several hours attempting to get the princess's attention by throwing various objects against her bedroom window. Pebbles, twigs, the occasional hoof-sized woodland creature. Now, while a professional reporter such as myself, by the laws and regulations of said professionalism, must abstain from allowing emotion and personal opinion to cloud non-biased facts, I feel the need to remind you, listener, that Zecora is not even a real zebra. She is just a normal pony who claims to be a zebra and has painted herself in crude and, frankly, rather racially offensive black stripes. Also, she lives within the Everfree Forest and is only an occasional visitor to our town of Ponyville. Occasional visitor, alright? She does not live here, and we are in no way affiliated with her. Just so we're clear, not a zebra, and not one of ours, okay? Okay. After a polite urging to leave, followed by a gentle tasing, the mayor was dragged away from the castle. Those who happened to be in attendance have stated that they overheard Zecora shouting about how her zebra magics had forewarned her of a great darkness covering Equestria. That, in her own words, "The ground will tremble, and the earth will shake, and all pony kind will fall within its wake." Zecora went on to cry that our lives were at their end, that our kingdom will collapse, and that sorrow and tragedy will rise, before fading out of sight as she was pulled with hard, jerking motions down a dark, ominous alley that no pony had quite remembered seeing in that particular spot before, and when they went back to look for it, could not seem to find again. Listeners, I'm at quite the loss from Zecora's words. I mean, can you believe she actually said zebra magics? What an asshole that girl is. Not to mention an embarrassment to the entire town. Honestly, Ponyville, I'm sorry for even having to bring this matter to your attention. Let us quickly move on, with our heads slightly lowered and our eyes turned away as we quietly mutter, "Oh, would you look at that? How interesting," while looking at nothing in particular. Quickly do these things and move on. Let us now turn to the full Fun Fact Science Corner. Kids, have you ever wanted a fun activity to do on a rainy day? Well, here's a bit of science that you can perform right at home. For this, all you need is an empty ice cube tray, a sheet of plastic wrap, toothpicks, and your favorite juice or soda. Carefully pour your drink into the ice tray and stretch the plastic wrap over it. Poke a toothpick through the wrap, ensuring that each one is partially submerged within the liquid. Then place it in the freezer. Finally, take any household ceremonial dagger you have lying around and carve the archaic symbols belonging to the Dark Lord of your choice into the floor. Now begin to chant, "No esquito ven, fosha lo mata. Viesotan! 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 And congratulations! You've just performed alchemy. Enjoy your fresh, homemade piles of gold, as well as your newfound ability to hear the thoughts of all those around you, whether you want to or not. This has been the full Fun Fact Science Corner. Listeners, we have an update regarding the renovations being done to the Royal Ballroom in preparation for the Grand Galloping Gala. After an extended safety meeting amongst the Royal Guard outside of the ballroom doors, consisting of such helpful advice as, "You open it." "No, you open it." "I'm not going to open it, you open it." The Royal Ballroom has, for the first time in years, been unsealed. Time and flames have certainly taken its toll upon the room, dear listeners. Previously pristine walls are now marked with dirt and cobwebs. Once expensive furniture has been reduced to ash and cinders. The carpeting, at one point a rich and royal amber, has turned into sooty, blackened char. The room, once meant for gaiety and celebration, now stands a silent tomb, a living effigy to abandonment and decay. All around are the pieces of a world that once was, but has been left too defiled to ever be back again. Memories that cannot be remembered, a past that has forever passed. And though we may rebuild, what once was will never be again. Those who gaze upon the room do so with hearts that feel like lead, and shoulders that already ache from the mere knowledge of the work ahead. Pity them, Ponyville. Pity them for the sights that they see that you and I will not. For though I speak the words of what is, and though you hear them, neither of us will ever see with our own eyes. And thus, neither of us will ever understand. We have been spared this, and we have been denied this. For those who have seen, for those who do know, will look upon each other with an understanding that we shall never have. We leave them to their tireless, tiresome toil, Ponyville. With sympathies that we know in our hearts to be hollow, we leave them and turn to a message from our corporate sponsor. Are you tired of the hustle and bustle of your daily life? Are you tired of your job? Are you tired of your commute? Are you tired of your family? Tired of your skin? Of your muscle? Of your bones? Tired of the intricate set of memories and experiences and ingrained dispositions that make up the very core of your personality? Need to get away from it all? Need to escape the ever-deepening rut that is your life? Are you so desperate for a reprieve that you're willing to ascend from your earthly figure and explode your consciousness across the cosmos to integrate with the universe throughout eternity? Wow, that sure sucks. We can't actually help with any of that. Sorry for bringing that up. That was our bad. This message brought to you by... No, forget it. We'll just go. Sorry about that again. Sorry. Listeners, something has happened while we were away during what I can only assume was a very important corporate message. After tireless labor on behalf of the Secret Guard, Princess Celestia entered the ballroom to inspect the work done by her subjects, only to be immediately assaulted by a wall of flame that sprung from what appeared to be thin air. Before onlookers could react, our dear princess was engulfed in flames, the burning, impassable fire surrounding her and smothering her like a thick wool blanket on a hot, muggy night. Attempts to put out the fire through traditional means, water, suffocation, salt, chanting, have met with little success, as the fire has only seemed to have grown stronger, encasing the entire ballroom and attacking all those who dare go near with what can only be described as some base intelligence, all while our dear princess is still trapped inside. Listeners, I am afraid that I do not know what the state of our beloved princess is. I know that it is my duty to be your eyes and ears during these troubled times, Ponyville, but as of now, these eyes can see nothing but flame, and those ears hear nothing but the crackle and pop of its fiery tongue. And such is the curse of the professional broadcaster, as I can only report, only observe, but never interact. There is so much I wish I could change, dear listener. So much I wish I could do, but I cannot. I do not know if our princess lives. I fear she may not. I fear many things, Ponyville, but most of all is the fear I hold concerning the uncertainty of our princess's well-being. I am sorry, listeners. I am sorry for not being able to know more, for not being able to say more. But there is nothing to say, and all I can do, while we sit here and wait for the fire to die of its own accord, is take you to the weather.
Clear the clouds away, bring
Listeners, mistakes were made. Throughout the course of pony existence, mistakes have been made, are being made, and will be made. They are simply the byproduct of the perfectly imperfect series of constructs that make up who we are as a collective species. It is said that through our mistakes, we learn vastly more than through our successes. That we never truly grow until we have lost. That we can never really understand what is good until we have suffered through pain. And it is through these mistakes, through this loss, through this pain, that ourselves, our true selves, begin to take shape like a figure within marble. Listeners, what I am trying to say is that mistakes were made. Not by this station, not by the secret government forces that control it, nor by the hideous unseen and unseeable creatures that make up station management, but by me, Sea Salt, the lone pony sitting and speaking to you through the air via a wireless transceiver. I am the one who is at fault. Ponyville, I fear my words were revealed to be falsehoods, and though it be through no intentional malice, that does not subtract from their falsity. The words I spoke so fervently were merely the assumptions of a pony deeply worried about the well-being of his powerful, omnipresent, and only occasionally malevolent princess. The ballroom, my little ponies, is fine. The fires that had once ravaged the formerly plush gathering hall have long since dispersed. Celestia's secret guard has, in fact, reopened the investigation in search of the original fire that struck the ballroom all those years ago, and is asking all of Equestria's citizens to keep their eyes open for any figures between 7 and 9 feet tall, wearing a heavy trench coat that floats several inches off the floor, a large bowler hat, frameless black glasses attached to a bushy black mustache, and maintaining no distinguishing facial features except for what appears to be a large, burning ball of sentient fire for a face. The secret guard are asking any pony seeing a man fitting this description to file a report at their local guard station, or by speaking into any of the hidden cameras located within their home. As for Princess Celestia herself, she's perfectly fine, as radiant and regal and immortal as she ever was. The flames that encompassed her were, in fact, not those from an angry, sentient ball of fire, but simply those belonging to Celestia's pet phoenix, Philomena, who had somehow become trapped within the ballroom and was simply excited to see her owner again. After petting the phoenix and feeding her a sacrificial treat of several guardsmen, the princess and her pet departed the ballroom, leaving those remaining who were unburned and uneaten to finish their work. The ballroom is still set to be opened later this month, just in time for the gala, which should be an exciting treat for all of Ponyville and its citizens, so long as no unspeakable horrors befall and end our pathetic and tiny little lives before then. Here's hoping, listeners? Stay tuned next for the sounds of places you'll never go, friends you'll never meet, experiences you'll never have, and a life you will never live. Good night, Ponyville. Good night. Welcome to Ponyville was a parody project, written and performed by cannedcream. Welcome to Night Vale was written by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Craner, and is published by Commonplace Books. My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic is the property of Hasbro. Music was by Disparition. You can check him out at disparition.info or at disparition.bandcamp.net. The weather was Let the Sun Rise by Morgish. Today's proverb: I've got 99 problems, and many of them involve spiders. Swarms and swarms of spiders.